In this lesson, we're going to be talking about increasing average order value and also cart value by using two different things, cross-sells and also upsells. And as along with upsells, I'm also be explaining what a downsell is. So this lesson is all about how you can get a customer once they've already made the determination that they're going to buy something to buy even more from your business. And it's a very, very logical thing why people want to optimize on cross-sells as well as upsells, because you've already paid to acquire the customer. Keep in mind, you've already spent the marketing dollars that got them from just looking on Facebook or Instagram to coming to your website. And especially if they've already made the decision to purchase, may as well try to squeeze a customer with as much value from them as possible because you've already paid for it. So I'm going to start by explaining the difference between a cross-sell and also a upsell. A cross-sell is basically what you see major brands doing when you add a particular product to cart and they say, hey, other customers have bought this, or hey, maybe you want to buy this as well. And whether they decide to give you a promotional or not, or even just recommending you, that is called a cross-sell. So I have these diagrams over here, right? The cross-sell takes place in these two parts of the conversion funnel. At the add to cart level and also the initiate checkout level, it doesn't take place at the purchase or post-purchase level, right? Meanwhile, upselling takes place after a customer has already committed to purchasing a particular item, right? So upselling is all taking place here. It's not really taking place over here, right? So what a cross-sell is meant to do is essentially get someone to add something to their cart that they otherwise wouldn't have added if you didn't encourage them or prompt them in some shape or form. And this can also be tied in with certain promotionals depending on the app that you use. So let me give a very classic example. Let's say that we have a business and our big product, I'm just going to write it over here, is going to be leather boots, right? And regardless of if it's an upsell or a cross-sell, that's the product that we want to focus our attention on. So it's a business that's selling leather boots, right? Let's say a customer adds leather boots to their cart. So we're going to explain cross-selling first. They've added it to cart and they're about to initiate checkout and put in their payment information. What a cross-sell does is basically once they've added to cart, maybe a pop-up comes out and it suggests a complementary item for them to also add to the cart. So you might say, hey, we noticed that you added in our signature leather boots. Well, leather boots aren't complete without a cowboy hat, right? And you can match a particular cowboy hat with that pair of leather boots. Or what's the best type of cross-sell and also upsell, when I start talking about upsells, is something that is complementary and especially extremely complementary. So a very big example is going to be leather cleaner, okay? Hey, you bought this pair of leather boots. It wasn't cheap. You spent your hard-earned money on it, but we also have this very exciting cleaning product that'll keep your leather shoe safe, protected, and stainless. This is what I call a complementary product. A cowboy hat is also a complementary product, but it's not as complementary as leather cleaner for your boots, right? So as complementary, as sort of necessary as you can get it, the better the cross-sell or add-on item is going to be. So a very common one that you'll see big electronics companies do is insurance or some sort of warranty, right? This happens to me every single time I go to the Apple store. I buy a new computer and they say, hey, you know, it comes with that signature factory warranty, but if you break it, if you crack the screen, if you have any problems with it, with Apple Care, here's all the benefits you get, right? Especially with cracked phone screens, Apple Care is so popular, right? What they're doing is they're essentially, that is an example of an upsell, right? But when you were adding it to cart, right? When you're going throughout the cart process and they said, hey, right before you check out, right before you commit to buying this $2,000 computer, your final bill comes down to $2,000, but you can actually add in Apple Care and it will be $2,400 and you don't really have to worry about breaking your technology. That's a great example of a cross-sell. And you'll see technology companies doing this with warranties, right? You also have home companies, right, doing this with insurance, right? Your car dealership is doing this with insurance. The moment you buy a car, they know that it's illegal to drive the car out the door without some sort of insurance. So they have insurance partnerships that they try to push onto you, right? Hey, you just bought this new Lamborghini and, Lamborghini insurance is very expensive, but we actually have a third-party vendor that provides Lamborghini insurance and maybe you should get this one. This one is the best. It comes with all this perks, all these services that'll keep your Lamborghini safe. That's an example of a cross-sell. So they can hit you at the add to cart level. It can also hit at the initiate checkout level, right? While you're going through the checkout process, I've seen apps recommend, the leather cleaner and also the cowboy hat, right? But the thing is, once the customer has actually purchased, right? Like they make the decision of whether they or not they want to add these extra items in the add to cart and initiate checkout process. Once they've actually purchased, it's kind of like a done deal, right? And even if you pushed on these complimentary items at the add to cart and initiate checkout level, if they don't actually decide to purchase, you're not going to get any of this additional value, right? So that's all a cross-sell is. It's just basically a suggestion to add something to cart or the checkout process that you wouldn't have added in otherwise, and you can kind of mix some promotions in it, right? Hey, you checked out this leather boots. It's in your cart right now. Well, guess what? For the next 24 hours, if you also buy this leather cleaner, we'll make it 50% off, right? That's a classic cross-sell with a promotion, and you can have apps out there that kind of match particular products with different cross-sells. And I'm going to tell you the best cross-sell app that I recommend using. I'm not going to set this up because I'm not a big fan of cross-sells compared to upsells, which I'll explain later. But if you are interested in testing out some cross-sells, it's going to be this app right over here. This is called Cross-Sell Pro, and it does a lot of really cool things. It'll tell you basically, based on data and customer experience, which products you should be cross-selling with which other products, and it's super easy. They're all about one click, right? So it's super easy for a customer to just click that item and add it in. I'm not going to do the setup for this app because it is just so intuitive and so easy, and also comes with a free version. So go ahead and use Cross-Sell Pro to start cross-selling on your business. What I recommend doing is doing upsells, and we're going to talk about upsells right up next. So what about an upsell? An upsell is especially powerful because it doesn't raise your overall cart value, right? Because it's taking place post-purchase after the add to cart and initiate checkout has already been completed. But what it does is it lets you squeeze out more value from a customer that's already paid. And the reason why this is so cool is because this customer is the lowest hanging fruit to market to, because they literally already trust you with their money already. They've already bought an item. So using that same example, right? Let's go back to the pair of leather boots, okay? So this person, decided that they wanted to buy leather boots from your business. They've added it to cart. You're not really pushing any marketing on them. You're not suggesting any other products. Or maybe you can use a cross-sell at this point. You're saying, hey, check out the cowboy hat, right? Well, let's just say we're going to cross-sell the cowboy hat at this point, and the customer is kind of iffy, and maybe I don't want the cowboy hat, right? And then maybe what we'll do is we'll also be, cross-selling the leather cleaner, right? Or you can choose not to do it at all. That's what I do. I don't have a cross-sell as a part of my upsell process at all. Or if I do have a cross-sell, it's a very soft one. It's just kind of like, hey, other customers checked out these products. It's not any sort of promotion. And they go all the way down. They actually complete purchase, right? So this is a great moment. You hear that cha-ching on your phone. You're feeling so ecstatic. You got their money. Now, what an upsell is after they've already completed purchase, right? Meaning they've given you your money. They've put their credit card information in. You hear that cha-ching. The money is in your Shopify payments. It's about to go to your bank account. Now you hit them with an offer. And the first offer you hit them is what we call the upsell. So they've already purchased, and normally they see some sort of like thank you screen, right? So it's like normally, now the final destination is no longer the purchase, right? Because this is an upsell. The final destination is kind of the thank you screen, right? And it gives them their order number. What happens between purchase and the thank you screen is the upsell and downsell process. So I'm going to explain what an upsell is. This guy has already completed the purchase. Let's say this pair of leather boots was $39.99 on your website. So they've given you $40 already at this point. Now you hit them with an offer after they've already purchased, and you say, hey, okay, you want to combine several elements at this level. You want to give some sort of discount compared to normal. Hey, you just purchased this pair of leather boots. Don't you want leather cleaner as along with it, right? Same factor as a cross-sell. You want it to be complementary, right? Leather cleaner is complementary to leather boots. You want to give a discount for limited time only, right? Only because you bought this pair of leather boots, right? Or only in this moment. This is your only chance of getting this offer. You're going to get a 50% discount on this leather cleaner. And you have multiple strategies here, right? We're upselling this leather cleaner. And there's two approaches, and neither one is better than the other. It's about testing. What you can do is have this leather cleaner as a part of your website, and you just make it a lot more expensive. So normally on your website, let's say it's $50, okay? No one's going to really buy it. You're giving it a very inflated price in order to hit them on the upsell at a much better deal, right? If your leather cleaner is normally priced at $50, no one's going to buy it. But hey, now as an upsell, you're making this bad boy $10. And if they already saw the leather cleaner on your site for $50, they think, wow, this is a great deal. I'm going to save $40, right? Or what you can also do is choose to have the leather cleaner not on your website at all, so they can only buy it from the upsell experience, right? So it's again for you to test. I've done both approaches, and it really depends which one does better than the other. And of course, you want to give a discount, and you also want to give some urgency, right? You want to basically emphasize, hey, this is your only moment to take care of this deal. You can say inventory is running out, or you can just say, hey, this is just the only chance you're ever going to receive this deal, and you can take it now or you leave it. So this is for that $10 leather cleaner, right? And if it's a complimentary product, odds are they're going to say, hey, I've already given this business $40. Clearly, I trust them, and I want to protect my leather boots. Let's add in that upsell, and bam, you have $50 from the purchase instead of $10. Now, this is where it gets extra fun. You can also do something when they decide to reject the upsell. Then you can give them something called the downsell, right? So this is called downsell, and this happens after the upsell. So this is the upsell. Now, the downsell is basically, hey, you rejected the limit time offer I gave you the first time, and you're really just trying to scoop up any value that could be left after they've already rejected it. This is usually your second most high conviction product, right? Your first high conviction product is going to be your upsell because you want to hit them first after the purchase, and this is basically your consolation prize. If they don't want that leather cleaner, what's something else I can push on them that, is in a completely different vein of product, but maybe they would want? So let's say we make our downsell a cowboy hat, right? And it's going to have the same elements, same urgency. It should be complimentary. It should be a discount. The only caveat here is that you want to make sure your downsell is a different product from your upsell, or if it is the same product, you give an even bigger discount on the downsell. So maybe this time you can either choose, hey, I'm going to downsell a cowboy hat, right? Completely different item. See if they're in the mood for something apparel. Maybe they'll bite on this. Or you do that same leather cleaner, and this time, instead of $10, you sell it for $5 because, hey, any amount of money on top is good money since we've already paid to acquire the customer. And that's why I really like upselling. I don't do any of that cross-selling stuff unless it's very, very soft, kind of just suggestions. And then I try to capture all the value on the upsell and the downsell because I know that these customers are already engaged, they're already buying from me. Now is a perfect time to upsell them. And even that email marketing tactic I showed you, which was taking that order confirmation email and trying to sell them another item, that is an example of an upsell. The reason why I don't like mixing aggressive cross sells and upsells is your word kind of doesn't mean much after you've already ran a massive sale on your website and you're giving them urgency and a promotion on the cross-selling, and now you're doing again on the upselling. What I notice is that when I combo these together, kind of both just end up not doing as well, versus when I keep an upsell by itself, it's usually very, very deadly. And this is the best part. There are great upsell apps out there, but there in particular, there is a upsell app that lets you do something called a one-click upsell. So the moment they click yes, right, versus no, when you give them this upsell offer, it automatically saves the payment information they've already completed in, and bam, just takes the customer's money, right? And it might sound a little bit unethical, but again, they can get refunds, right? You can refund them if they're very, very angry. What it does is it basically just gives them no time to think or react at all. The moment they press yes, they're locked in to this upsell. And if you're selling a great upsell product, such as a leather cleaner in combination with a pair of leather boots, they should be pretty happy getting the upsell product. So in the next lesson, I'm actually going to show you how to set up step by step this powerful app called One Click Upsell by Zipify. It's by Ezra Firestone, a really well-respected member of the e-commerce community, and that'll be the next lesson. But this is what people are talking about when they mention cross-selling, upselling, and increasing the average order value or the total value of your basket. So if you're playing in a range of price, right? I always say your average order value should at least be $20 if you want to survive on Facebook. What some people do is they'll sell really, really cheap items, right? And try to get those easy conversions and then try to upsell on top. And you also get some more advanced strategies for you to test out, right? What you can choose to do is break even on the product that you sell and only make money on the upsell or the downsell. So what you can do is offer a deal that is so good, right? Sell your AliExpress products at cost at the front end and then bank out on them going through the upsell and also maybe even the downsell to increase your average order value and make your profit there. I know people that run this model. It's a little bit more complicated, but it still can work, right? Essentially, you're baiting people in by giving them awesome prices on the initial item and then trying to make all your profit on top through the form of upsells. But again, next lesson, we'll be talking about how you can actually execute this strategy through the help of One Click Upsell.